Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Arch City Comics. I am Adam AF. We are doing a little indie comic stream tonight. Both of these creators have excellent books. Well, one is out and one is coming out. Neither are associated with Comicsgate, but we're going to talk to these guys and see what they have to show us. We've got Ryan Haack, who has Bric-A-Brac live right now.
That's right.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We have Ouroboros Moon, who has a book coming up called, is it Graveyard? I'm sorry, Graveyard. I had it right here. Graveyard Watch.
Yep.
All right. I almost said Graveyard Shift, which is John Malin's book, and then I know
it was called Graveyard Shifts until I saw that, so I figured I'd have to change it.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good call.
Is it? What is it on Kickstarter? I want to look at it.
You'd have to go to my Twitter page to see it.
Oh, okay.
We'll pull that up in just a moment here. I do want to give a shout out before we get too far into this. John David, he dropped a few bucks in the tip jar over the weekend. He says, "A buck in the bucket on my way out." Hail, John David. I do appreciate that very much. Anybody listening, if you don't follow John on Twitter, I suggest you do so. I am dropping the link in the chat. There it goes. Give him a follow. He's a really good guy. He backs a lot of projects. He's one of those guys on Twitter that you don't see a lot of negative stuff. He's a very positive tweeter, which is always nice in this day and age. Welcome, Not Joe Froggo, to the chat. Says, "Hi, strangers." Wayward Comics is here as well. He says, "Hail." Up, and that was my boomer moment. All right, no more boomer moments. So let's pull up. We'll look at Bric-A-Brac first here.
Sure.
Ryan, I had you listed first anyhow. So give me the skivvy. First of all, I will tell you this right now. You were talking with somebody who is not a big Christmas person. I really like Halloween. And the fact that we're even talking about something Christmassy before Halloween is it's already making my skin crawl. So you're going to have to pitch your ass off to get me to back this book. So take it away, sir.
All right. So in short, basically it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Star Wars combined into something that you've never really seen before. It's borrowing from a lot of Christmas mythology, whether that be public domain characters like Santa or Jack Frost, or the kind of Rankin and Bass characters, the puppets from those TV specials. There's a lot of those kind of characters in this story, and it's definitely about a Christmas planet that is at war. There's several different factions that are at war with each other, and they basically are in a war of resources. And our main character, Garrett, he's a 10-year-old kid, and he wants to find Father Christmas because Father Christmas has the ability, he thinks, to end the war and save his friends and all that kind of stuff. So it's a kid's book, but it definitely grapples with a lot of subject matter that is accessible to adults and kids alike. It's in the vein of a lot of those specials that can still be enjoyed by adults, like The Year Without a Santa Claus or Rudolph, obviously, because it's so classic and it has so many great ideas that's very entertaining even as an adult. So, this is an amazing story. I'm so excited about bringing to life.
This is kind of like Christmas on steroids from the sound of it.
Pretty much. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's literally it is pretty much Christmas on steroids, yeah. But in a way that's not. There's an actual conflict, and the characters have depth, and they are changed by this massive war and conflict. So it obviously adds a element of depth to a lot of the characters because there's people in the world who have to fight against other. Forces in the war, just like how we would on Earth. They have to combat it and get out of their comfortable lives that used to be filled with Christmas spirit and happiness. Now, not so much, right? So it's just it is a very interesting story that kind of brings forth a lot of perspectives on Christmas that I think it's pretty much I built it to become the ultimate Christmas special that talks about everything I've ever wanted to talk about Christmas and also every character I've ever wanted to put into a book and to have my own take on. That's in the Christmas, I guess, lexicon. This is that story. It has everything in here. So yeah.
So I'm guessing you're a big Christmas fan then. You really like Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Christmas, but I love Halloween too. It's just that Christmas, I think, aesthetically is really, really. Halloween is also aesthetically very pleasing to me, but I think that something about Christmas, man, it's amazing. It's an amazing time, and it brings out the beautiful thing about it is it brings out, at least in theory, the best of people, and I think that maybe. With this book, I can try to prolong that. I like to create things that, obviously Christmas has a lot of good values. Mm-hmm. In this story, it takes place on a planet Christmas where all those values are, other than when they're in wartime, used every day. So, it's about inhibiting those values of Christmas, joy, giving, sharing, being with family, surrounding yourself with good people. It's about that. It's about definitely trying to be the best person you can be, because I think that that's what Christmas demands of people who celebrate it. So yeah, this is a beautiful book. I'm so excited about,
Nice. And so you ran this campaign once already on Kickstarter, and did you get funded on Kickstarter and then you lost some backers, or what happened there?
I just like to say we got grinched, because it's a easy way of explaining what the heck went down. So basically there was just a fake pledge, essentially, like that was really huge from someone. It was kind of like a troll. I guess I used to know the person, but the Kickstarter didn't find that it was really kind of a troll thing, because I too believe it was made out of goodwill, but I guess the person just didn't understand, like, you have to have the money or something, and this person pledged like $5,000. Anyway,
wow.
I know. Yeah. It's like, how could you do that and not have that money? It's like, anyway, the thing is we had less than 50% of the funds. So we had to refund everyone, which I felt good about because I didn't like the stress. It sucks, obviously, but I didn't like the stress of like, oh my God, if my IndieGoGo doesn't fund, then all these backers are going to be mighty pissed. And, so in hindsight, I guess you could say it's hindsight, it's been a week, but it was a good thing. And you know what? I don't even care. I just care about the story so much. I could get hit by a train and still get up to tell it, because this is my most, my most important work. It's something that I've slaved for. And, obviously with these last 60 days, it's been hard to get back up and get on an IndieGoGo, but I'm just saying this story is so important to me that I'm putting everything on the line. Sell it.
Oh, that's honestly, that's what you got to do. And people don't, that's something that I don't feel like people really tell you. Running crowdfunding campaigns is not an easy venture. It is, it's not all, roses and happy songs. It's tough. When that clock starts ticking, you start sweating. You want that bar to tick up. You want to make sure that your backers are going to get everything, that they're expecting to get. And I'm not 100% familiar with all of the inner workings of Kickstarter. So correct me if I'm wrong. But the way that it works is that you pledge a certain amount of money, and then when the campaign closes, that's when they collect the money from the pledgers.
And they immediately withdraw it, which honestly sucks because it takes a lot of people off guard. And it's one of the main reasons why there's so many issues transactionally, if that's a word. Like, it makes kind of sense. Like, if you're not keeping track of when the campaign ends and, oh man, I just had to pay rent, where, the money's not going to come out. So it's so dumb that they do that, and I get that they do retry a week later, and then they try again on the second week when you actually get it physically or, digitally, through a credit card. But, it's a weird system. And honestly, I think at least I think I'm only going to go to Kickstarter with smaller campaigns, probably under 2,000, maybe under 3,000. And, or bring books that I've successfully funded on IndieGoGo over there, just because, again, the idea of Kickstarter is to generate fans. IndieGoGo is great, but honestly, it doesn't generate fans on its own. Kickstarter is literally a machine. It's a mechanism it's a tool to generate fans and fans you could have for life. I mean, maybe not for life, but it's a beautiful thing.
You hope to have them for life.
Exactly. So that's the thing about Kickstarter that people underestimate is it's truly built to generate fans. That's it. And it should be treated as such. It's, so that's just my opinion on it. I don't have any ill will because you know what? In hindsight, again, they dealt with it the best way they could, and I don't blame them. It was a wacko, weirdo situation. But you know what? We persevered, and we're going to tell this story.
I give you mad props for that, for not backing down and cowering underneath a rock. You picked yourself. Hey, a lot of it happens to a lot of creators. They get really discouraged, if their campaign fails or doesn't meet the goals that they were hoping for. People get really discouraged and they tend to kind of throw in the towel and get really negative. It speaks a lot to your person to pick yourself back up and take another run at it. It really does.
Yeah, man. To anyone who crowdfunds, it's hard. And if you're thinking about starting to crowdfund and don't really have an internet presence, you should probably take a step back and start culminating things, start making content. Like look at Gary Vaynerchuk's videos and how he says like make 20 videos a day, make 20 pieces of content and engage with people on Twitter, engage with people who are into comics and then launch your book. You've got to have a fan base. And if you don't, you're going to go through some hard stuff because if you're not prepared, it's going to be a battle. And even when you are prepared, it's a battle. So, just bring your shield, bring your sword, just be ready. Crowdfunding isn't a science yet. We don't know hardly anything about it. It's like alien matter. So we are literally going into a new frontier. We are. And you could get, be consulted for $300 an hour by some of these guys who claim to know, oh, this is what's going to, but it is truly undiscovered territory. So that's the thing you have to go into. It's a blessing, and the people who have succeeded will testify, but at the same time, it is very, very difficult, very hard, but it's worth it. So
you've run a couple campaigns before, correct?
Yes. So my first campaign was my horror comic anthology, Unspeakable Text, which was on Instagram because they didn't know how to format things to Webtoon, which is an amazing service. And one day I plan to get all my stuff on there, but I put it on Instagram and I have like 1,000 followers. So I was like, hey, I should put all these 11 stories I should put all these stories into a anthology. That would only make sense. So I thought, well, how am I going to do that? Well, crowdfunding. There's a huge boom. So I was like, okay, $3,000. Oh my God, was that hard? It was brutal just getting 3,000, and which is a lot. It is a lot, but it is brutal. And, you find yourself relying on friends, on scrolling through your Facebook friends and trying to find people. But, at the end of the day, you should probably be able to get like at least 1,000 from your family and friends. But after that, man, you got to go out into the wild. You have to go out into the wilderness, and it might be scary and nerve-wracking, but you have to literally go down in the DMs and do it for hours and hours on end and just ask people, hey, this is an amazing book, and people will see the product, and but anyway, this book was really, really fun to make. And again, it was 11 stories, black and white, 3 to 7 pages, all written by me and then drawn by artists all around the world that I found on Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation primarily, which is an amazing site that people need to obviously check out because it's the next DeviantArt, if not the DeviantArt of today. So yeah, that was a really fun thing. And we're already starting on volume 2, and it's just a great way to meet new people who support you, who support other people that you collaborate with. So the beautiful thing about it is that artists who have worked on that book now follow the artists that work on my new books, my letterer. We're all in a family now. And, that's something that I think everyone who collaborates on comics should really think about, is like becoming a family. And, crowdfunding is about being a team. So,
well, honestly, that's kind of what I know you guys aren't associated with, but that's kind of what we've been trying to build with Comicsgate, is a big network of, and a lot of us who've been here for a while, and even the newcomers will say that it feels like a family a lot of times. I mean, there's some guys in Comicsgate that I talk to more than my own family. I hope my family's not listening right now. I'm sorry.
Hey, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. But I mean, and that's true. And that's, it's camaraderie. It's helping each other get a leg up, doing what you can. Absolutely.
No, yeah, man. It's a tough crowdfunding is tough. It will take a pound of flesh, but it is. And again, like I said, it's like alien matter. It doesn't really make sense to us yet because we don't understand. It's not really, you can market them, but it's a new concept to us as humans, like buying hopes and dreams.
Essentially,
that's literally what it is. And, sugarcoat it in every way you can. Put up as many data sheets and little pie charts as you can and try to make it sound as realistic as possible. We don't own printing presses. We're crowdfunding for a reason. It's to bring our hopes and dreams alive. And a lot of people are very cynical in this world. So you have to find the ones that are optimistic. And then you have to convince them that your story is worth their time. And then you have to hope that they have the leftover change to buy something. So it's a whole thing. And, to find that person, super backers are amazing people, but they're very, very rare people, so.
Yeah, that's true. So let's take a look, get back into this campaign here. What are you offering here? We've got your featured perk for $12.
Yes. We've simplified things. We had some digital stuff, but man, we're halfway in the campaign, so it's time to get serious. Although, digital is definitely cool. It's time to get serious. Yeah, so this is, you get digital, and then you get name in the thank you page, and then you also get a physical copy of the book, of course.
How many pages is this?
This is going to be 30 pages, but if stretch goals do come to pass, obviously we want to add more. That is the main goal. So yeah, and stretch goals also are eligible like through in demand too. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, my goal, and honestly, if we have any extra change, it's going towards more pages. I want to tell as much of the story as I can, because like I said, well, I don't think I said this, but we're coming back in March, and we're going to come back again in October, and to do the third one. So we really want to. And also hitting stretch goals gives people the more value to people. But anyway, yes, it's going to be a 30-page book as it stands. And so, yeah.
Wow, 30 pages for $12. That's really on the cheap side of crowdfunding books, honestly.
Someone told me it was, and I was like, man, I can't make it any cheaper. I really can't.
No, man, that's a good price for a crowdfunded book. You're on the lower end of the spectrum from what I've seen. There's a lot of people out there charging $15 to $20 for a 24-page book, and then not including shipping or anything like that. So, props to you for trying to cut backer costs as much as possible.
Yeah, man. So here we go. The Lost Christmas Eve, really fun. You get an art print. A very exclusive art, well, not very exclusive, but it is the art print of Santa that you see as the thumbnail image, the Father Christmas with the two kind of.
Oh, up at the one at the top here.
Yes, it's beautiful, and the two Pokemon reindeer things, and it is. You get an ornament made by me, which is just going to be amazing, and then a bookmark, of course, which has and then a holiday card. Just some little cool perks that kind of speak to the Christmas theme. And I thought, why not? And they're going to be fun. I actually love making crafts. So not that I'm amazing.
Handcrafted ornament. I can't wait to actually see some pictures of these, to be honest with you. I'm picturing like 3 popsicle sticks glued together with some like felt red nose and some googly eyes and.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, but there's no shame in that, Like I might ask my elementary school teacher, like, hey, what were the designs for the, what was the blueprint for those Christmas ornaments we made back in the day? And then just slap my character on it and be like, this is clearly a license. No, but yeah, they're it's gonna be fun. I love doing that and I'm hugely into Christmas. So if this succeeds, I'll be doing this all during December. So And I'm a good person who likes to make eggnog in, October, and I'm a huge eggnog fan. Like an eggnog person. I love it so much. Anyway, so then this is Underneath the Tree, which is a huge value. Honestly, kind of a really sweet reward someone gave me the idea of making. So, obviously you get all the previous rewards. So, all we just talked about. Mm-hmm. And then you get, so Carl Kessel is someone who showed me a lot of love, especially with this campaign after hard times, as we discussed. And so, yeah, I have Impossible Jones #1, which is an amazing looking book that you get in this digital bundle. Because I thought, well, it's Christmas, so people should be getting more than just my book, right? So then Beastlands by a really good friend of mine. Well, not really good, but he really held my hand through the kickstarting, experience, Curtis Clow. And he just had another successful campaign and on Kickstarter just a couple of weeks ago. And this is his amazing book that came out at the beginning of the year, Beastlands. It's super slept on, and this guy is a beast. He's a beast of a writer, and he just knows how to he knows how to collaborate with, he knows how to put good artists and good letterers, and obviously he himself is a good writer, so he knows how to produce amazing books. Just in general, he can assemble a team that he's like the Nick Fury of independent comic books. Like, he knows how to make a team that will just kick ass. And so that's what Beastlands is to me. My friend Russell, Ichabod Jones, that's another book that you'll get as a digital PDF. Last Ember, Sneaky Goblins, and A Small Favor. And A Small Favor sequel just got on Kickstarter, so it'll be kind of cool if you get back that book and then get the original through me, or you'll probably have a ability to get it through him. But anyway, just a little more value for what you're getting. And obviously, if we can get stretch goals, then even more value. So again, trying to emphasize the team effort while also giving value to the customer.
Very cool. Give a shout out to Skits Comic in the chat. He says, I had to make our ornaments as a kid. We were very poor. So yeah, he could maybe hit him up for some crafting advice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Riot Kitty says it's a little early for Christmas. I said the same thing too, Riot. It's not even Halloween yet, and here we are talking about.
I'm sorry, Christmas. I have to.
Tis what it is. It's just what it is. John David says, I made popcorn strings. I think we all did that as a kid. Popcorn strings hanging through the Christmas tree. Yeah, James says, all the stores are skipping the Halloween and Thanksgiving stuff to put Christmas stuff out already, aside from mountains of candy. Yep, I was actually just in Walmart yesterday, and I can confirm there are aisles of Halloween candy, and when I went to go look for a pumpkin in the garden center, it was nothing but Christmas stuff.
Well, I mean, Halloween is like in 2 days. Like, if you,
I guess I'm a little late.
I mean, I know, it kind of like, oh my gosh, Halloween's in 2 days. It seems like October went by so quickly. It definitely did. I actually just got word today that the mayor has decreed that Halloween is being moved to Friday. No, I hate when people do that.
Yes, and then overheard some high school kids talking today that they said it sounds like the plot of a scary movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you announce The Purge. It's like we're moving this, we're moving this holiday to this. Yeah, it sucks when like that has to happen.
It's a weather thing, to be honest. The weather's going to be really, really crappy here.
Yeah.
On well, we trick or treat on the eve of. Because we have a huge Halloween parade on Halloween. So the day before Halloween is going to be really crappy outside, but the day after Halloween is supposed to be better. So they're switching things around. We don't trick or treat on Halloween because we're just weird like that around here.
Where do you live in the East Coast?
No, I live in the Midwest outside St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So I'm sorry. So we got a little derailed, but anyway, continuing on to this name that I cannot pronounce.
Tchaikovsky's Revenge.
Thank you.
Yes, this is one of the big things we got here. So you get all the previous rewards and a sketch from the artist Raphael. and it's definitely something you don't want to miss out on. It's a really, really cool perk there. Sorry, I have a sore throat, as you can tell probably. But yeah,
all right. You've already got the Christmas sickness, getting it out of the way early this year.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's what I hope. But yeah, man, it's probably because I've been on so many interviews. But yeah, man, this is a really epic perk. And Raphael, he is a beast. And so, you know, all you have to do is look at his Instagram and see that this guy is one of the best artists you've probably seen do a comic book, or just, I mean, I truly believe he's just one of the best artists I've ever seen. And I can't even believe I get to make a book with him, let alone admire his artwork and have him draw my own characters. I mean, it's like a blessing upon a blessing.
And that is, he is the artist on the book, Raphael Sam.
Yes.
He's got a real, and does he do the colors as well, or is he just a line artist?
He's a beast, man. So he does everything.
He's doing it all. It all. That's awesome. I do like his style. Rykety says the art looks very cute. It reminds me of Scotty Young a little bit. That kind of cartoony style from, like, I don't know if you ever read I Hate Fairyland.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten that. Someone told me it looks like just kind of like that, very playful, colorful, definitely just very interesting. But the beautiful thing about Raphael too is that he can draw just really fun monsters, and just obviously it's a fantasy book and a sci-fi book, so it requires a different kind of arsenal of drawing skills, I would say. And Raphael is just, he uses some like ancient principles. He just has some amazing skill and talent. And I hope this book can be a reality so you guys can see just how amazing he is and how beautiful he is. And, you know, one of the things too, and one of the stretch goals is he lives in Brazil. He speaks Portuguese. So, you know, one of the stretch goals is we could get this lettered in his language and send at least 100 copies to him so he could sell it. And then possibly even letter some of his independent books and bring them over here, you know, because he has his own independent stuff. He's doing his own stuff. And I personally would love to read them. I hope you guys would too. So maybe in the next couple of campaigns, we can try to work something out with Raphael and get his stuff over here, you know, because this guy is a beast, a total beast.
Is he's from Portugal?
No. He's from Brazil.
Okay. Man, there's a huge renaissance of art coming from South America right now.
Oh yeah.
Brazil, Argentina.
There's
something special going on down there right now. They're just knocking it out.
Yeah, he actually did have some skin in the game in comics before. Is it not like it's his first comic? He worked on a Madagascar comic, I guess. Which,
like the movie Madagascar?
Yes. But a comic version of it.
Interesting.
And that was cool. I got to look at some of that, and it's obviously beautiful. And he's just, you know, honestly, I'm really surprised he hasn't been picked up by anybody. Like, that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to get it done so quickly. It's like March, you know, we're going to launch again in March with number 2, and then God willing, 3 in October, because, you know, man, this guy's going to get picked up. And, you know, that's something I would love to tell the story with him and make something beautiful first.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I like his style. It's very kid friendly, kind of cartoony. It's just really, really kind of accessible.
Yeah, man. And then that last perk right there is something I just kind of came up with. You know, we have Christmasville. There is basically a rebellion against the Nutcrackers, which, you know, Nutcrackers in essence, I don't know if I'd said this before, but they are essentially the Empire, and they're working to get resources out of Planet Christmas that are valuable to, obviously, the people of Planet Christmas, and sell them to get weapons and other stuff to, you know, take over the planet with. So the rebellion is full of beautiful, awesome creatures and fantasy characters. And so we thought, hey, let's make a tier where you can create your own creature. It'll be a really awesome way for people to engage more with the project and be a part of it, because, you know, crowdfunding is in this project's DNA. So let's just embrace that. And so, yeah, we're going to have people create their own characters who will be in Christmasville, a part of the rebellion. They may make multiple multiple appearances, and it's just going to be super fun. I think I love it. My mom backed it. My family members have backed it, and then people I don't even know backed it the first day it came out, which was a huge surprise to me. But yeah, people really dug the snowman spider and this Christmas dragon. There's a Christmas lobster and a Christmas lion coming at you in the book, and people are just going to make some more stuff. Maybe embrace that's different kinds of animals we've never seen. The beauty of this book is it's fantasy, and I've never seen a Christmas fantasy story go so hard into fantasy. So that's what we're doing with this.
Wow.
And there's also
taking it to the limit.
Absolutely. It's like you said, Christmas on steroids.
Yeah, man, I really like these pages. This all looks good. You got the concept art down here, or
Yep. So we've been working on this book for a year now, and so we've just been putting things. Actually, the book initially started on Earth, if you can believe it or not. The book, it was not going to be on Planet Christmas. It was going to be with a guy who had kids, and it was a whole different story. But as you probably know, and as you've probably interviewed a lot of people who say the same thing, you're making it's like trying to put ingredients into making a nice steak. Like you can't just when something calls you, when you want to flip the steak around or you want to add a new sauce to it, you got to just do that. And we changed. Obviously, now it's on a Planet Christmas, and that opens up a conversation to be able to talk about topics of. I would say some of the topics are a little political. I mean, it's about evangelical Christmas. It's about commercial Christmas. It's about all these different things. It's that deeply about my, as a 10-year-old, the stuff I was going through, people telling me, you can't like Santa. You can't like this. You can't watch these things. How could, do you like Jesus? That's not what Christmas is about. All these different things, and this forcing of growing up, that takes away the magic of Christmas. So this book is about getting back to the magic, finding out what took it away. And, that's what it's about, man. This is just an exciting project.
Very interesting. I mean, you have a lot of passion behind this book. That it usually speaks to the product itself in the end. If the creative team has a lot of passion going into it, it's you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get a high quality book that you're going to enjoy. And I mean,
Absolutely.
This definitely looks like something that anybody who is a fan of, like you said, those old school Christmas movies, the animation stop motion films.
Oh yeah. And even Nightmare Before Christmas too. I mean, literally we used the obvious, even the architecture from the old Nightmare Before Christmas, the Christmas Town. We used a lot of the architecture. So if you look at that page from Christmasville, you can see that some of the houses are a little curved, and some of the architecture is definitely calls back to that almost German Whoville architecture that I just adore. And I think it's just brilliant. And so, yeah, and also Seussian elements too. I mean, Dr. Seuss is a huge inspiration to me, and I love his stories. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're getting some love in the chat too. Skits Comics says, looks like a lot of fun. Mr. Yonafui says, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is you've got a winning concept here. I mean, it's definitely off the wall. And I mean, this is a all ages book or children's book.
Yeah.
I guess you'd more say all ages, because
all ages.
An adult can sit down and enjoy this.
Oh yeah.
Or they could read it to their child and enjoy it with their kid.
100%.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, the kids are the next generation. If we're gonna pass this this wonderful medium down, we've got to get them involved in it too.
Exactly. So
yeah, I'm all for the mature label. Balls out, do everything, no holds bar kind of comic book. That's awesome too. But we gotta as indie creators, we have to start tailoring to the younger audience at some point.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. Yeah, this is a book that, man, it's just about me, and in a lot of ways, it's just about. I mean, man, I can't explain to you how important Christmas was on Christmas Eve, or I mean, I built a whole mythology around it, and I just want to use this story to explain to people what that was, and actually see it for myself in a comic book. Really, I mean, I did build it a mythology for myself essentially, and so this is it.
Awesome. Very cool.
Thank you, man.
Well, let's switch gears a bit.